a fail son who failed upwards into a media career. You're an edge boy LARPer who criticizes bull up until you become a multimillionaire, and then you have every single caveat in the world for why what you're doing is okay. Yeah, I hate him. I hate his audience. I don't care that he's hot.
I don't know. I think part of you cares a little bit that he's hot.
And I hope that Sam Hyde finds you in the street, and I hope that y'all have a very pleasant conversation about your mutual misunderstandings about life and philosophy and politics. And I hope he mutually understands you. All right, that's edgy enough.
I mean, I agreed with some of these points, but some of this was just like unhinged. Quick look at this this thing here from Counterpoints. I thought I was like, I looked at the guy's Twitter and I'm like, oh, I thought he had a lot more followers. I think that's Counterpoints, different person. But he does he makes Warhammer content, which is cool, by the way. Warhammer's pretty cool. But yeah, I guess I'm curious here, especially with this image here. Okay, let's go. Oh, hold on, let's go.
Hi guys, Connor from Counterpoints here, and I literally just wanted to rant from the heart. No script, no nothing, just genuinely a feelings-based rant on why I dislike, possibly even hate Hasan Piker.
Whoa!
And
that's my king. You can't do that.
Let me give some caveats up front, okay? Dude's obviously good-looking. He's obviously, you know, charming, charismatic, whatever, or else he wouldn't have tens of thousands of viewers.
Same.
That being said, he's also a fucking idiot.
Whoa!
And I think he's proved his idiocy multiple times. And you're just going to have to excuse my hair and my shirt and all that kind of bullshit. It's rough out here, all right? But there's a reason why I viscerally dislike him so much.
Okay.
And the reason...
It's because he's handsome. It's because he has hair. You know, that's why I don't like him. Because he has too much hair. He doesn't... Why do you... You know, we're talking... Oh, we got to redistribute wealth. Why don't we talk about redistributing your hair? You know what I mean? Not everybody has hair, Hasan. But to be honest with you, I don't really care, because after seeing him walk on a treadmill the other day, I realized he looks like kind of a twink, and I'm happy to not look like that, at least. That's just, I'd rather look like a bear. Big old bear.
The reason why, as far as I can understand, is his family effectively like lived in Turkey, middle class, upper class, whatever, but they wanted to guarantee that their son had a good life. Yeah. So they basically, as far as I understand, do an anchor baby program where they, you know, have him stateside so he's a U.S. citizen, and they want to make sure that he has a good life, so they send him to school. Instead of, you know, taking his studies seriously, because frankly I don't think he has the IQ to, he ends up, you know...
I mean, I'm not a big fan of Hasan. I think that some of his points are not good, but I don't think he's that dumb. I think it's like... Jesus.
Doing steroids, going to college, and becoming a college promoter.
Steroids? What are you talking about?
And that probably is the...
Was Hasan actually on steroids? I mean, if he was... I mean, I don't think that he ever was. He doesn't look like... He doesn't have a steroid body, so that would just be super lazy if he did do that.
The essence of his charisma is the fact that he's so physically attractive that he can convince young women in order to go into Miami clubs or wherever the fuck he was going to school in order to make, you know, money for bartenders and club promoters and all that kind of stuff. So that's, you know, part of his origin story. Okay. Then he goes and does a Dude Bro 2010s, 2000s, you know, this is how you hook up the chicks, brah, fucking TV show. And then he realizes that his talents are misplaced and becomes a progressive commentator for the Young Turks, which, by the way, like, say what you want about the Young Turks, like...
Well, he did that on the Young Turks. He did, like, the Dude Bro podcast on the Young Turks. I'm pretty sure, right? So, yeah. I mean, I don't know when he switched to being more progressive. I think that he got Destiny pilled a little bit. And, like, plus the Young Turks was progressive already, so he was just probably coming into his own. Then he flirted with Destiny for a little bit, and then that didn't go well, and then, you know, that ended, and sad stuff. You know, we lost the end of a beautiful friendship, huh? End of a beautiful friendship.
Shank and Anna or whatever, and you can they've had a lot of misses in my book, but the truth is that I view them as like competent, passionate, probably genuine people who care about their principles.
I don't know. I feel that way about Anna. I don't know about Shank Uger. Maybe it's... I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I would say that. Chang seems like a little dishonest from what I've seen, but I like Anna Kasparian. She's all right, at least, you know? She's pretty based. She's a pretty based person.
And actually try to implement them. Like, for instance, I think Justice Democrats, even if that's fallen apart at this point, I think Justice Democrats is probably a good faith effort to have some level of political change in line with your political values. When it comes to Hasan, though, he piggybacks off of them, does a few viral videos for him, etc., leverages that into a Twitch politics career. And Twitch politics career, he's grinding it out. He piggybacks off of Destiny for a while. He becomes respected in his own right. After he becomes respected in his own right, he becomes the React Andy streamer.
Whoa, this guy knows the lore more than me. That's crazy. It's so weird because I don't think I consensually wanted to know the Hasan Destiny lore. I feel like that just kind of happened, and it wasn't like what I wanted to do, you know, and it just like happened, and now here we are. We know too much about irrelevant people on the internet, because that's what it comes down to. Like, everybody on the internet is like irrelevant, basically, you know. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Of the political scene, and is the public face of socialism. The reason why
I guess, yeah,
I hate him so much.
I feel like he's not, though. I feel like Hasan's just like the public face of like trendy socialism. It's mostly of, I would say, like upper middle class white kids that want to feel like they're important and that their complaining is actually positive and does something, that they watch as Hasan. I think that's mostly what it is. Like, I mean, for the most part, but yeah, maybe I'm wrong.
Much is because I could not think of a better example of what I think of socialism in the Western world. A fail son who failed upwards into a media career, hasn't had any practical skills his entire life, has barely endured any hardships.
Christ.
I think the hardest hardship that I've seen is him dealing with the fact that his parents are getting older and the fact that his dog died. That's like the most.
Yeah, he got really upset when Destiny made fun of his dog on that Reddit thing. That was kind of mean and funny though, but you know, it was mean still.
Difficult thing I've seen this motherfucker ever contend with on stream, in clips, whatever. So he's basically a fucking rich Nepo baby talking to us about the injustices of the world. He has every fucking financial and social opportunity to create like systems that are parallel to what his values would say. As an example, without criticism from the public, doing revenue sharing and doing like, owners, workers owning the means of production and all that kind of crap. He has every opportunity to do that with his own like miniature media business. But instead...
Well, I think that you would probably argue... he would probably argue that he probably pays his editors like a percentage or something. Like, I fundamentally agree he could do more with his money if he wanted to. Like, he could open up like a small business that's like a co-op or whatever it's called that pays the workers a proportionate of the business and stuff. I don't think that he's necessarily that interested in actually like... I think he's very comfortable, like, saying things that sound nice, and he doesn't necessarily, like, own it in any real capacity or, like, you know, implement something that would have any real change. But I think that he's an entertainment socialist, right? Like, he doesn't, you know, and that's enough for him. I mean, it might have a positive impact, you know, let's hope. But yeah, I don't know if that he necessarily cares to have an impact. I think it's more about just being an entertainment, like, kind of a socialist in person. But I also am for, like, social programs also, but...
And he uses contract labor, tries to defend his use of like poorly paid contract labor by buying a computer for the person who's doing his editing. Then finally does a revenue share or highly paid, model when he's finally successful enough in order to do it.
Well, I mean, that makes sense though. Once you're successful enough to do that, it kind of does make sense though. But
so it's like, oh well, you got to change the system, bro. It's like, no, you've had a few $100,000 for a while, you've had a few $1 million for a while, and you've been a piece of shit for a fucking while. So when I see this motherfucker, not even looking at the screen, by the way, he's too busy fucking chomping down on his fucking chicken nuggies or his fucking breakfast cereal or whatever. Sorry for the dog whines. I actually have animals and human beings that I take care of in my life.
Yeah, I don't care about animals,
So he's chomping down on whatever fucking thing. He's not even looking at the screen. There's tens of thousands.
The only animal I care about is that dog in me. I don't know, man. This video, like, I understand not liking Hasan. I think he's just a smug douchebag that doesn't care as much about like any of the things he talks about that he pretends to. But I feel like this video is like angry. You know, I feel like this video like hates Hasan. It feels a little almost whiny, a little disproportionate, but okay.
People, or a few thousand people at the Kai Senat riots. He's like, oh yeah, this is why I hate local media, bro. It's because they exaggerate all of the...
All media generally sensationalizes, but like he under-sensationalized, right? He was like, oh, it was only $3 worth of... Yeah, I guess that's why some people are angry at him too, because he was like under-exaggerated. And I think it's because the person that was the target or that did the bad behavior, Kai, was black. I think that Hasan, like, I think he's so woke brained that he thinks that like anytime a black person does something wrong, that like it couldn't be their fault in the slightest. So he has to defend that position, you know, because it's not racist to treat black people like with the racism of lowered expectations. That's not real, you know. That's not a real thing. But I think that's what it boils down to. Also, there's probably a factor of it being like a streamer thing, and he feels the need to, like, you know, protect the streamer kind of a situation, or it's like a business move almost. That's probably it as well. You know, he's like, oh, I hope I can work with Kai Cenat one day. You know, kind of like one of those things. Maybe Kai will fall off enough for me to talk to me. Ironic coming from me, but hey, fuck it.
All of the things. This is just a bunch of rowdy teenagers breaking up a few bags of Doritos, and they're acting like it's serious. Meanwhile,
hey, listen, if they were sweet chili Doritos, I would actually understand the riot, though. Let's be real; those are like the best Doritos ever.
You have like a fucking 50 or 60-year-old immigrant to this country who probably is a small business owner, so I guess he's petit bourgeois, so I guess you can execute him in the fucking street from fucking socialist or communist lens. And 60-year-old. When I'm done with this rant.
Well, I mean, listen to your daughter, all right? Listen to your daughter. She's smart. She's trying to save you. It's
buddy.
For this crazy rant.
So,
or son. I'm sorry. Young kids sound the same. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be rude if I had said the wrong thing.
You see, a 60-year-old fucking immigrant to this country, probably, almost guaranteed immigrant, but maybe he's first generation, second generation, trying to build the American dream, working his ass off, owning his own business, fucking, you know, selling shit out of a kiosk in, you know, Union Square or whatever the fuck that place was. And this dude gets beat. He gets his ass kicked. He's like holding his neck. He's holding his arms. He's holding his head weird. And he's like, you can tell that this dude just got his fucking ass kicked. And he's going to the EMTs to be like, hey, am I fucked up? Do I need to go to the hospital? And you have this fucking fail son, rich bitch, fucking millionaire being like, oh yeah, the media is just exaggerating everything. Who gives a fuck? This is fucking nothing. Bah, 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 bah. It's like, dude, I fucking wish that you lived any level of a real life. I wish that you were any kind of exemplar of something for young people to look up to. I wish that you were so much better than you were, or I wish you would reap the fucking consequences of your life. And by the way, I actually think he is. I think
How mad do you think Hasan be mad at this video? I don't know. I don't even know if he would have watched it, to be honest with you. I really couldn't even tell you. I don't know.
He is, in a way. So as he's getting older, he's balding, he's self-conscious about it. Oh, my hair's, you know, falling out. By the way, this is something that I've dealt with. I got a little, you know, my hair's doing pretty good. But there's a little spot back here, right? And that little spot is, it's like my part. But at the same time...
That's one interesting thing, though, because I've been ugly my whole life, so I don't have to worry about maintaining vanity. People don't like me for my level of attractiveness. But Hasan, once he starts getting uglier, man, it's something I mean, he's going to have to start spending money on test boosters and, you know, hair implants and shit. It's going to be fucking crazy. It's going to be fucking crazy.
It was looking a little bit more haggard, and I'm getting older, so I'm like, oh shit, do I have to shave my head? But you know what you do as somebody who's not a fucking pussy? You shave your fucking head and you move on. You bitch about it to your family and your friends and you fucking move on. You don't let it be.
Is this like a real thing that Hasan like actually is losing his hair? Like, what the hell's happening right now? I've never heard this before. I was just fucking around. This is fucking wild.
A self-conscious fucking criticism that affects the rest of your fucking life. And I'm pretty sure, like, if people call him out on that shit, then he gets a little self-conscious about it, which is fun for me, because I get to enjoy his fucking pain. Then, when it comes to, like, his world outlook or whatever the fuck, it's like, where's the socialism, bro? Where's the mutual aid organizations? Where's the fundraising? Where's the fucking, you know, where...
Well, he would say that, you know, charity donations is against, oh, Jesus Christ, is against, like, you shouldn't have to donate in whatever it's called, socialism. You shouldn't have to donate stuff. That's the whole point, is that you wouldn't have to do charity. That's one of the weird points that they walk on, which is true. Like, in an ideal world, you wouldn't have to do charity, but I mean, we don't live in an ideal world, so. But everything should already be properly funded, blah, 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 blah. I mean, I agree, but anyway, like, no, he's not going to do that. He doesn't care. Where's the parallel structures? Where are we eroding the state? And you know what it boils down to? It boils down to criticizing Democrats up until you have to vote for them, and then voting for Democrats. So ultimately, you're a fucking capitalist, you're a fucking Democrat, you're an edge boy fucking LARPer piece of shit who fucking criticizes multimillionaires up until you become a multimillionaire, and then you have every single fucking caveat in the world for why what you're doing is okay. And then when people working... But I have to go potty. Do you want me to die? My mommy's not here to make... I mean, he's kind of right about that. Especially with, like, the way that he reacts to some videos where he'll, like, get up and go to the bathroom and shit. And even when he was talking to Ethan, to me, it's clear that he's still doing that. He just plays videos for his stream while he gets up and walks away. And his reason is, well, I have to stream for 8 hours. I have to keep people entertained. But you don't have to stream for 8 hours. You decided to engage in a contract that made you have to stream for a certain amount of time because you wanted to make more money. And so it's funny how like capitalism really is like the main. Like he could have made just as much money doing whatever the fuck he wanted. He could simply just turn the stream on. Like he could just simply leave the stream on and like have his audience bored for 5 minutes while he goes to the bathroom. He could put a highlight reel on. He could do a lot of other things, you know. But he doesn't want to because he really is like the same as everybody else, like of like the people that he criticizes. Honestly, but
working class people, middle class people, people who are actually working their asses off, who their crime is their petit bourgeois, they get their fucking asses kicked by a bunch of fucking young people who ransack their fucking business. Then all you have to offer them is, hey bro, don't you have insurance? And also, like, on the scale of things, systemic racism, 400 years of oppression, so isn't it okay that a bunch of black teenagers beat up a fucking 60-year-old immigrant? And by the way, even if you don't say that stupid ass fucking take, that is obviously the implication of the worldview, because otherwise why would you be playing defense for a bunch of fucking people beating the shit out of a fucking 60-year-old man and stealing all his shit? Yeah, it's so unbelievably, mind-bogglingly fucking corrupt and disgusting that I resent the fact that it's a part of my culture. I resent the fact that I have to tolerate it. I resent the fact that he's a fucking citizen of my country through fucking anchor baby bullshit. And I seriously wish I could make a civics test. I wish I could make a fucking civics test. I wish I could watch that motherfucker. You know, 50 Cent, he's making fun of George Floyd, where he's or not George Floyd, Freudian slip, I guess.
Yeah, I guess a real Freudian slip, huh? Because well, yeah.
But Floyd Mayweather. So, and he's like, guess what, ninja? If you could read a whole page from a Harry Potter book, I'll give $200,000 to ALS. I would love.
Well, you say the same thing to Hasan, and if he does read it, then you just call him transphobic.
To see Hasan take a fucking written exam. I would love to see an essay that he has written. I would love to see a multiple choice test on the Constitution or civics or government or U.S. history. I would pay good money to see that as a fucking stream. I really would.
I think I'd lose that too, bro.
Yeah, I hate him. I hate his audience. I hate the people that support him. I hate the people that run defense for him. I hate that people sim for him. I don't care that he's hot. That has nothing to do with whether or not he's.
I don't know. I think part of you cares a little bit that he's hot. I think it's part of the motivation. What the fuck, dude?
Quality human being. I wish he would do one of two things. I wish he would grow the fuck up, get his shit together, put his money where his mouth is, maybe try to raise a family so he's not a fucking genetic dead end for his fucking family. And then I wish he would get his shit together and become an adult. Or I wish he would shut the fuck up and fuck off. Because honestly, like, it's content for me, right? Like, I'm here ranting, I'm pissed off, I've been talking about it pissed off for 9 fucking minutes. So at the end of the day, I guess, thank you for the content. Thank you for allowing me to shit talk you on the internet for a few hundred people to fucking watch. But at the same time, fuck you. Fuck you, you're a piece of shit. And I hope fucking Sam Hyde finds you in the fucking street. And I hope that y'all have a very pleasant conversation about your mutual misunderstandings about life and philosophy and politics. And I hope he mutually understands you into...
Unhinged.
All right, that's edgy enough. All right, we'll leave it there.
It's very bizarre that he would, like... It's very weird that he would take it that far. Like, that's just insane. Like, what the fuck? I mean, I agreed with some of these points, but some of this was just, like, unhinged, to be honest with you.
But I didn't say anything specific, okay? I just hope that you and Sam Hyde meet and you resolve your differences. However that...
Why?
However that
this is unhinged.
Anyways, appreciate you. That's enough shit posting for 9 minutes. Hope you have a good one. Bye for now.
Okay. Okay, yeah, like I said, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Hasan either, but this was just, like, unhinged, bro.